Welcome to GS Coins, the channel where we explore the stories, secrets, and surprising values behind everyday coins. If you've ever wondered whether the loose change sitting in your drawer or pocket could be worth more than face value, you're in the right place. In today's deep dive video, we're putting the spotlight on the 1991 $quarter coin, a coin that millions of people have touched, spent, and overlooked. But today, we'll uncover why the 1991 quarter might not be so ordinary after all. We're going to talk about its design, history, mint marks, production numbers, grading, market values in today's collector world, and even error varieties that could make this common coin worth real money. So sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey into the world of the 1991 Washington quarter. To start with the basics, the 1991 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, a line of coins that began in 1932. This series has been minted continuously for decades and features the profile of George Washington on the front of the coin. That familiar portrait of America's first president was originally created by John Flanagan and has become one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. On the obverse of the 1991 quarter, you'll see Washington facing left, with the word Liberty above his head, the phrase, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date, 1991, at the bottom. Depending on where the coin was minted, you may also see a small letter to the right of Washington's ponytail, which indicates the mint location. Flipping the coin over to the reverse, we see an eagle perched proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, a traditional design that symbolizes both military readiness and peace. This design remained unchanged from 1932 until the state quarters program began in 1999. So the 1991 quarter sits at the tail end of a long era of classic American design. This context alone gives the 1991 quarter a certain nostalgic and historical value, especially for collectors focused on the pre-state quarter era. Now, let's talk about production. The U.S. Mint struck an enormous number of quarters in 1991, over 1.3 billion in total, across 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark. Those from Denver feature a small D mint mark, and coins from San Francisco bear an S. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 570 million 1991 quarters, while the Denver Mint outdid that with more than 630 million. These numbers make both the Philadelphia and Denver issues very common in circulation. On the other hand, the San Francisco Mint did not produce coins for general circulation that year. Instead, it focused solely on proof coins, special collector coins struck using polished dies and specially prepared blanks to create a high-quality, mirror-like finish. The San Francisco Mint produced about 2.8 million proof quarters in 1991, and these were typically sold as part of proof sets to collectors. So what does that mean for value? Well, the market value of a 1991 quarter depends heavily on 3 things: its condition, its mint mark, and whether it has any unique errors or rare variations. Let's start with circulated coins. If you found a 1991 quarter in your spare change, and it shows obvious signs of wear, like faded details or surface scratches, its value is likely close to face value, 25 cents. However, even among circulated coins, there's a bit of range. If the coin is in better than average condition, with sharp lettering, a readable date, and light wear, it might be worth 50 cents to $1 to the right collector. Now let's move up the ladder to uncirculated coins. These are coins that have never been used in everyday transactions and have maintained their original luster. A 1991 quarter in uncirculated condition, graded MS 60 to MS 63, can fetch anywhere from $2 to $5. As the grade increases, MS 64, MS 65, and beyond, the value grows. MS 65 coins can bring in $10 or more, while MS 67 examples have sold for over $50 at auction. These high-grade coins are rare not because they weren't made, but because few were saved in pristine condition. Most 1991 quarters went straight into circulation. Those that were carefully preserved, either by collectors or through chance, are now considered premium specimens. Even more valuable are the proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. If you have a 1991 S-proof quarter, it's already worth more than face value simply because of its high-quality strike and mirror-like surface. A typical 1991 S-proof coin in PR 65 or PR 66 condition will sell for around $4 to $8. In higher grades like PR 69 Deep Cameo, which means the coin has strong contrast between the frosted design and the mirror background. The value can range from $10 to $20 or more. In rare cases, perfect PR 70 deep cameo coins have sold for upwards of $50 depending on the demand at the time of sale. Now let's get into one of the most exciting topics for collectors: error coins and rare varieties. Errors are mistakes made during the minting process, and while they are unintentional, they are often extremely valuable to collectors. Common types of errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double die obverse or reverses, and struck-through errors. While there are no widely known major varieties for the 1991 quarter, collectors have reported off-center strikes and double die errors on this coin. A 1991 quarter with a significant off-center strike, say, 20% or more, can easily fetch between $20 and $75 depending on how dramatic and clean the error is. A double die error with visible doubling on the word Liberty or the date can also bring in anywhere from $50 to several $100s if certified by a trusted grading service. If you're sitting there wondering, do I have a valuable 1991 quarter? Here's what to do. First, look for the mint mark. A D or an S could slightly increase the interest depending on the collector. Second, examine the condition under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to look closely at the details, the high points of Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the clarity of the inscriptions. If your coin shows no wear, has sharp lines, and original luster, it may qualify as uncirculated or near mint state. Third, check for errors. Look carefully at the lettering and date for any doubling. Inspect the coin's edge to see if there are any strange cuts, missing parts, or off-center designs. If you think you've found something unusual, consider getting the coin authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. As a collector, it's also important to remember that the historical context and completeness of a collection can influence the value. For example, a full run of Washington quarters from the 1990s in mint condition, including the 1991 quarter, can command a premium as part of a set. Collectors are always looking for coins that help complete decades or themes. So even if your individual coin isn't worth hundreds of dollars, it may still play an important role in building a high-quality set that increases in value over time. Lastly, let's talk about coin care. If you're lucky enough to own a nice 1991 quarter in uncirculated or proof condition, make sure you store it properly. Coins should be handled by the edges only, never touch the faces, as oils from your skin can cause damage over time. Store your coins in acid-free holders, plastic flips, or even airtight slabs if they've been professionally graded. Keep them in a cool, dry place away from moisture and humidity. Proper storage can preserve your coin's value for years or even decades to come. So there you have it, coin lovers, everything you need to know about the 1991 $quarter coin. From its iconic Washington design to its production at multiple U.S. mints, from circulated values to mint state gems, from common coins to rare era pieces, the 1991 quarter holds a fascinating place in American numismatics. While millions were made, only a small percentage have survived in top condition, and even fewer contain the errors or proof qualities that attract premium prices. If you've got a 1991 quarter in your collection, now is the time to examine it more closely. You just might be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than 25 cents. Next up, the 1996 Washington quarter. But in the world of coin collecting, we know better than to overlook any coin based solely on its age or how common it might seem. Because hidden among those everyday coins are treasures, and the 1996 quarter is no exception. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just found a shiny 1996 quarter in your pocket change, this video will guide you through everything you need to know: the coin's origin, its design, mint marks, special editions, era varieties, grading standards, market values in dollars today, and even why this particular year holds more value than most people realize. Let's begin with the context. The 1996 quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 during the Great Depression to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the portrait of Washington on the obverse side has become one of the most iconic images in American coinage. The reverse design, featuring a bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, was intended to represent both strength and peace. This design remained unchanged for over 6 decades, making it one of the longest-running reverse designs in modern coin history. In fact, the 1996 quarter is part of the final stretch of this traditional design, as just 3 years later in 1999, the U.S. Mint would begin issuing the revolutionary State Quarters series, which completely changed the collecting landscape in America. So owning a 1996 quarter means owning a piece of the last chapter of classic U.S. quarter design, something that adds historic appeal and collectability. Now, let's talk mintage, that is, how many of these coins were made and where. In 1996, the United States Mint produced coins at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints added its own mint mark to the coins they produced. The Philadelphia Mint does not include a mint mark on its quarters, so if you have a 1996 quarter with no letter beside Washington's ponytail, it came from Philadelphia, and it's not rare. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 925 million 1996 quarters. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint struck over 906 million coins, and these can be identified by a small D to the right of Washington's ponytail. The vast number produced at both mints makes most of the 1996 P and 1996 D quarters very common in circulated condition. But that doesn't mean they are worthless. On the contrary, when it comes to coins, rarity is only part of the value. Condition plays a huge role. Even a coin with high mintage can be quite valuable if it has survived in pristine condition. Coins that have never been in circulation, known as mint state coins, can be worth many times their face value, particularly in grades MS 65 or higher. And when we say mint state, we're talking about coins that have no signs of wear under 5x magnification, original mint luster, and strong visual eye appeal. So what's the value of a 1996 quarter in today's market? If you're holding a circulated example, one that's been used in day-to-day commerce and shows signs of wear, then the coin is generally worth its face value of 25 cents. However, coins in better condition with only minimal signs of wear can sell for more. Collectors often pay 50 cents to $1 for clean, lightly circulated examples that still retain sharp detail. The value climbs quickly when we move into uncirculated territory. A 1996 P or 1996 D quarter in MS 63 or MS 64 condition typically sells for around $2 to $4. In MS 65, a grade that indicates a coin is well struck with strong luster and only minor marks, these coins can sell for $5 to $10. When the grade rises to MS 66 or MS 67, we start seeing prices in the $20 to $60 range depending on the coin's eye appeal and whether it has been professionally graded by NGC or PCGS. Top population coins, meaning the highest grade known for the year and mint, can fetch even more. In fact, a 1996 D quarter graded MS 68 by PCGS sold for over $300 at auction due to its flawless condition. Now let's talk about proof coins, a special category that can be far more valuable than business strike quarters. In 1996, the San Francisco Mint produced 2 types of proof quarters, one in standard copper nickel clad, and another in 90% silver. These coins were not released for general circulation. Instead, they were sold directly to collectors as part of annual proof sets. You can identify these coins by the small S mint mark. The clad proof quarter had a mintage of about 2.1 million, and in today's market, these coins are worth anywhere from $3 to $10 depending on the condition and whether they have deep cameo surfaces, that's a type of ultra-contrast finish between the raised design and the mirrored background. The 1996 S silver proof quarter is even more valuable, with a mintage of only about 775,000 coins. Its silver content alone gives it a melt value of over $5, but collectors routinely pay $10 to $30 or more for pristine examples, with PR 70 deep cameo versions reaching prices well above $50. One of the most exciting parts of collecting any coin, especially a modern one like the 1996 quarter, is the hunt for mint errors and varieties. These are accidental flaws that occur during the minting process, and collectors absolutely love them. Common errors include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a 1996 quarter with a 10% or more off-center strike can sell for $50 to $100 depending on severity and visual appeal. A clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting mistake, may fetch between $25 and $75. Double die errors, particularly those with doubling in the inscriptions or the date, are also sought after and can command prices from $100 to several $100s when authenticated. These coins are rare, but they do exist, and some have even shown up in pocket change, which is why checking every 1996 quarter is worth the effort. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1996 quarter? First, examine the coin under bright light with a magnifying glass. Look closely at the surfaces. Is the coin free of scratches and wear? Does it still have its original luster? Are the details of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers sharp and defined? If so, you may have a mint state coin. Next, check for any abnormalities in the lettering or design. Look at the word Liberty, the date, 1996, and the edges of the coin. If you see anything unusual, doubling, missing letters, jagged edges, then it may be a mint error worth submitting for professional grading. Coin grading services like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX can help confirm a coin's grade and authenticity, and professionally slabbed coins often sell for significantly more on the open market. The 1996 quarter is also a great entry point for new collectors. It's widely available, affordable in most conditions, and offers a range of collectible options, from high-grade uncirculated coins to rare silver proofs and error coins. It also represents the end of an era in U.S. coinage, just before the country launched into the colorful and diverse state quarter program in 1999. For collectors building typesets, date runs, or error collections, the 1996 quarter plays an important role, and the best part is, you can still find these coins in circulation today. That means every trip to the store or every handful of change might hold the chance of discovering a small treasure that others missed. To preserve your 1996 quarters, especially if they are in uncirculated or proof condition, make sure to store them properly. Use soft cotton gloves when handling coins to prevent fingerprints or oils from damaging the surfaces. Keep them in acid-free holders, 2x2 cardboard flips, or plastic capsules to prevent air and moisture damage. Store your coins in a dry, cool place, away from sunlight and humidity. Coin collecting is not just about finding value, it's also about preserving history. Every coin you protect today could be a valuable asset tomorrow. In conclusion, the 1996 quarter might be a familiar coin to many, but for collectors, it's full of hidden potential. From high mintage circulation coins to rare silver proofs, from valuable mint state examples to exciting error coins, this quarter offers something for everyone, especially those willing to look a little closer. While most people pass it by without a second glance, you now know what makes the 1996 quarter special, and possibly worth much more than face value. Thank you for joining us here at GS Coins, where we bring the world of coins to life, one detail at a time. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below sharing your favorite coin in your collection. Whether you're just starting out or a veteran numismatist, GS Coins is your home for coin values, tips, and treasures. Until next time, keep checking your change, because the next valuable coin might already be in your hands.